This is Money FM Radio 93.7. And just now, you are joining us on accounting and business. Now, I'm not alone. I'm joined by Mr. Shadrach Lusambo, happens to be in the accounting sector, obviously. But today, we do have a very, very interesting topic. One of the listeners, I think, this week asked the same question. And obviously, the question they asked was how do you get into bonds? How do you do the business? How does it work? How much do you need to invest? They did ask all those questions, and so this week it's I should say very fortunate that we have the very very topic with Mr. Lusambo on the other side. But just before I say what the topic is, Mr. Lusambo, you're welcome. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you, Stefan. It's good to see you. How are you?
I'm
It's good to hear your
fine.
voice.
I mean, my voice, yes. So we
It's
are
good to
live
hear
on
your voice.
Facebook for those that would like to follow. Please go ahead.
All right. I'm saying it's good to hear your voice, Stephanie. Our viewers are going to miss out on you. A big deal today. But anyway, guys, you see Stefan every single time. Okay, don't take it personal. All right, Stefan is gonna be
Yeah,
here for some time. So if you don't see her today, hey, it's not a big deal, people. Don't worry. Okay, don't worry. Mm.
definitely.
So
Right.
we're
Do you
looking
know
at
that we
what to
want?
do before
Okay.
investing in bonds, Stephanie. All right, and it will be nice to hear your views, Stephanie, because you are a bond investor. Do you even have bonds, Stephanie? Tell me more. Do you have bonds?
It's one topic I think about honestly all the time, and I'm always checking on Dingan, who's always talking about not investors, but obviously these ventures, many ventures that you could actually put your money in. And one of the
Yeah,
interesting things was he was telling me you can even start with a 500 kwacha, something that I've
yeah,
been thinking about. And I'm always on loose, always looking at what they have and what's available.
indeed,
So I could say
indeed.
I'm a aspiring member.
Okay, that's fantastic. And because they are aspiring, it makes sense because we're looking at what to do before investing in bonds, stocks, real estate, and the trusts. And I think this is going to be, extremely fundamental because lots of people ask, and like last week we saw, all right, we saw somebody saying, how do I invest in government bonds? How do I invest in stocks? What can I do? So today we'll give you a session of exactly what to do. All right, what to do
Mm.
before investing in bonds, stocks, trusts, and real estate. Okay. So that's going to be a fantastic topic. So I want to take you through a round of things you can do. All right. A lot of people don't understand return on investment. So what they do, somebody is going to tell them, you know what? I know a friend of mine who has shares. They have 5,000 shares in Zambif. They have 10,000 shares in Zanaco. Some even put Facebook challenges. Say, no, my challenge this year is to get 80,000 shares or to get 15,000 shares, and people begin to buy shares. So some people may want to invest in shares. Some people may want to invest in bonds. Some people may want to invest in trust. Some people say, no, I'm going to do real estate trust, and here's how I make money. But along the way, Stephanie, most people are disappointed. Most people I know who invested in bonds, in stocks, in real estate, and in unit trust and investment trusts, most of people are very disappointed. Not that the investments are bad,
Yeah, we talk
but
about
because
disappointment.
the returns that they have received is not what they expected. So most of them are saying, you know what, I put my 1,000 and I was only given 172 kwacha after 1 year. All right. So you feel like you've lost time, you've lost money, and things like that. So people feel free to ask your questions about stocks, bonds, unit trust, investment trust, and real estate. Okay. So I want to tell you a few
Also,
bits and pieces you can do. If you want to get started on this journey, remember, we're talking to somebody who wants to get started on this journey, want to invest in this because people talk about investments, bonds, unit trust, real estate, we want to simply give you a few things you can do. Okay, so before I get into those few things, I want to just mention to you, I want to draw a diagram for you. Okay, let me bring something to the table of something that you can do. All right, some that you can do if you can go into stocks and all these things. Let me just bring my screen to you here, and I hope that you'll be able to see my screen, because if you can't see my screen, there will be no point. So what I want to do here, I want to draw something for you here, guys. Okay, I want to draw something here. I want to do this. So let me do this. Okay, so I'm going to draw a diagram somewhere here. Okay, I'm going to draw a diagram here. All right. So I'm going to draw a diagram here. Yeah. No, I'm not so, guys, I'm not so good at drawing stuff, so please bear with me, okay? My graph may look like the owners have shifted, but hey, guys, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. You've seen these things probably a hundred times. Okay, so that's my graph to you guys. Okay, so I'm drawing a graph that we're going to work with this morning. So here, I'm going to put something called freedom. Okay, so I'm gonna write something called freedom on this side, and then I'm going to write something called job or dollars or costs. Okay, on this side. So this side, I'm going to put something called cost. And then I'm going to draw a line somewhere here. And I'm going to put these guys here. So I'm going to put the stocks, I'm going to put the bonds here. And I'm going to put the real estate here. And I'm going to put, of course, stocks here.
Mm.
And of course, I'm going to put trusts somewhere there. Stephen, can you see my screen? You know, I can't
I
see my.
can actually.
I
Okay, is
can,
it
and it's
clear,
quite
or I
clear.
need to up my game? It's clear.
No, it's very clear.
Okay, fantastic. So now I've brought those things. So now here's the issue. So now we're talking about a guy. There are different kinds of people who want to invest in bonds. So I want to talk about different categories, and at what point in your life should you begin to consider putting money in any of these things above. So you can see this line here. So now what we're talking about, at what point do you jump the red line here? Okay, so let's say you are here, you are below here. So maybe your source of income could be a job. Okay, you have a job here. All right. There are somebody who has a job. Now here, of course, you know, some people get paid 5,000, 10,000, whatever money you get paid. Some say, you know what, I want to get money from my salary, and I want to channel this money into what? Into buying government bonds. So a job is a good thing. We talked about a job last week, and we explained a lot of good things about having a job and things like that. But if you are getting started, all right, in with your life,
Mm.
you don't want to make a mistake of jumping this later. And particularly understand these 5 things down here. All right. So before you can begin to invest in bonds, first of all, want to find out what is your income like. Okay. If you have a job, which is usually one of the fundamental issues, if you have a job, what is your income like here in this job that you have? Okay, you have a job. A job is a good thing. Okay, it can give you a good measure of income,
Mm.
but is it a job that can pay your rentals, that can pay you, that can buy your food, that can support you, and that can leave you with something to save for yourself or something to put into others' businesses? So a job is a good thing, but usually the job market in Zambia, according to NAPSA data, we are told in Zambia, the average salary here is between 6,700. That's how much people get in Zambia. That's the average Zambian salary. All right. Now, looking at the cost of living now with the inflation 10.6%, it is becoming very difficult for somebody earning 6,700 to live a decent life and to leave some money for them to go and channel into bonds. It's becoming very difficult because the salary you pay rentals, if you have kids or you have a wife and transportation and lunch at work, it is becoming extremely difficult to begin to use your salary alone from the job to go and put in bonds, real estate, unit trusts, and of course, stocks. It is becoming very difficult. And on top of that, the returns that you get on bonds, real estate, stocks, unit trusts is very disappointing. It's extremely discouraging. All right, when you're just getting started. Of course, there's a point where you begin to enjoy yourself. We'll get to that. But for now, looking at somebody who has a job, it will not be a very good idea to begin to use money from your job to put in stocks. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's the reason.
Mm.
Do you know that if you put you put your 1,000 kwacha in stock, just roughly, next year you'll be able to get about 172 or so kwacha. Now that return on your 1,000 quarter next year will be extremely irrelevant because of inflation, time value of money. That money would have lost a lot of value, and then you've
Yeah.
gotten money from your job. All right, your hard-earned money. You simply go and put into bonds, into stock, into trust, because Shadzik said these are good investments. Yes, they are good investments, but the point I want to make, they are not for everyone at every point. There's a point at which we advise you to begin to put your money in bonds, stocks, real estate, and trusts. We are going to get to that. But for now, if you have a job, first of all, want to evaluate how much money you get and where do you want to take your family. What are your investment goals? So first of all, to understand your investment goals before you can go into a friends, getting your salary, putting into bonds, stocks, and stuff like that. Because the Zambian salary is not a very much attractive salary. Of course, there are people get more than that, but I'm using
Mm.
NAPSA data here. All right, the average Zambian salary is around 6,700 or so. That's the average salary here in Zambia for most people in employment. All right, there are people who get way more than that. All right, but for argument's sake, I want us to stick with the average numbers. So, what
Mm.
other thing can you do? All right, to begin to now improve a bit of some value so that you can have something to invest in bonds. And I'll tell you the amounts that are going to be suitable for you to put in bonds. Not every amount is going to make sense if you put in bonds. All right. So one of the things that I want to talk about here is simply to learn a few skills. I'm going to tell you about 5 skills that we're going to learn that are going to help us to become bond investors, real estate investors, stock investors, and of course, unit trust. So number one, I want to move from the job. So if you have a job, I want you to add something to a job. So to this job, let's move from the job. Let's come here and let's add this guy. I'm gonna call the PS. Okay.
Mm.
The PS here, Stephanie, is simply a physical service. So you have to, first of all, before you begin to think about putting money into the bonds, because for you to put money in the bonds, this money is going to stay there for a year. It will not do anything for you. Of course, it's going to earn a very small interest, depending on what category you are on and what amount you put in. So before you can decide to put money in a bond, if you have a job, can you look for a physical service, something that you can do? Don't feel shy. Fumeni pofensoni. Do what you can. Now, a physical service is, this is where maybe, for example, I have a guy that comes here to clean my yard. This guy comes to Kwempa. And of course, I have a guy who cleans my vehicle. I go to the car, somebody cleans my vehicle. And I've got, of course, a guy that helps me with typing. So there's always something that you can offer. What service in your life today? Look around. Forget your degree,
Mm.
because everyone has a degree nowadays. Forget your degree. Just look around and say, fine, is there a physical service? Is there something that I can offer that can make me additional money other than my salary? Yes, people know I'm a millionaire. People know I'm a doctor. People know I'm an accountant, but nobody cares whether I eat or not. All right. So insomnia out, pride out. Look for something within your capabilities. What can I do that can give me an extra 1 quarter, just 1 quarter? All right. So now, physical service is good, like I said, because physical service gives you, of course, it gives you a lot of freedom. Physical service does not give you a lot of money, because physical service gives you very low, just like a job. A job and a physical service, both of these give you very low freedom. All right, partly because for a job, just like a physical service, you have to be there.
Mm.
If I'm an accountant, I'm supposed to be in the office working for some guy. All right, and then I'm supposed to knock off at same kind of time, so I have very low freedom. While I get money to support myself, support my family, but I don't have a lot of movement. Just like a physical service, you have to be there yourself. If you are going to clean my yard, it is you coming to mow my yard, to mow the lawn on my yard. All right. If you're going to clean someone's car, it is you exchanging your time for money. So that's where a physical service also may give you low freedom, but it's a very, very good start. All right. So now the next issue here that we want you to move from a physical service. All right. Once you have a physical service, maybe try and think about having a TS. All right. Having a TS, something I'm going to call a TS. What is that?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what does TS mean?
Okay. So now, ATS, all right, this is where we begin to trade. Now, trading services, this is where, for example, if you have a job, all right, your job can give you a platform to get a few coins from your job and put into ATS. This is where you go to Soweto, you buy things from Salaula, You take them to laundry, and then you sell them at a higher price. So you can do that. So now here,
We seem to have lost Mr. Lusambo, but of course, to be part of our conversation, do call the number 077 Now, we're talking about what you need to do before investing in bonds, stocks, trusts, and real estate.
sure you can
And
hear me.
obviously,
I think I've been lost. Can you hear me, Stephanie? I think like you can't. Can you get me?
yes, I can. Mr. Lusambo, you might want to also add the number on uh, on the screen.
Okay, the number that people can call us on. Okay, fine. I'll add the number for questions. For now, let me just finish the presentation. Do a number for questions. Guys, please share the video. Give us your comments. If you are following, let us know if you are following us. Please, please, it's important for us to receive your support. Let us know you are finding this information. Tell us know if you are following or not and where you're watching us from. That would be fantastic. So now let's get back to our presentation. So now here, Stefan, please be my guide. If I'm logged out, send me a message. Please, I'm not able to see myself. So now here,
Okay.
sometimes yeah you can use this job of yours to use a TS, or maybe if you don't have a job, you offer a physical service. You are the guy that goes to mow somebody's lawn. You are the guy that goes to sweep somebody's yard, to wash somebody's clothing. You can use, of course, your money from your physical service to start a TS. All right. This is a trading service, a trading business, a business where you do what, you begin to order things from Soweto, like I do. I'm a Sarawala guy. I know how to help you to go to Soweto, order clothing, take them for laundry, even jackets, take them for laundry. And do you know this jacket I bought from Salawala? All right. And I took it for laundry.
Wow.
And it looks very fantastic. You wouldn't even know how much I got this jacket from Salawala. So you can go to Salawala, order jackets at a very lower price, okay? Take them to laundry, and then sell them at a higher price. I know guys who sell these jackets. They sell you at 450, 250, 300. Nice jacket. But if you go to Salawala, this jacket is less than 100 kwacha. It's a very nice
Mm.
jacket. If you can see it's a very, very nice jacket. But I bought it at less than 100 kwacha from Salaola. I took it for laundry and I wear it and they look amazing. I look fantastic. So you can do the same. You go to Salaola, you get that particular. Don't think about bonds for now. Just because you work, just because you're having some money, does not mean you have to put money into bonds, real estate, stocks, and trust. No, that's not how things work, people. For now, first let's get into the main issue. So from that physical service that you're offering, you can start a TS. You go to Nakonde, all right? You order stuff, you go and sell to someone else. You go to Salaula, excuse me, you order stuff, you go and sell someone. So that's also trading. Now, the purpose of trading is for you to be able to grow. All right. Now, once your trading business begins to grow, all right, there's something that I would like to bring to your attention. The trading business depends on you. All right, depends on how disciplined you are. So the money here, the trading business gives you a good measure of freedom. Some people order things at a lower price, they sell at a higher price, they make money. Like people, the vocals, when you go to Cairo Road, you see guys selling CDs, selling shirts, shoes, those are trading. All right. So depending on where you are, the location you are, and where you're ordering from, you can make a good money or no money. It depends on what you're ordering. Some people order things online, they buy phones like Emac, the young guy for Emac was ordering phones online on eBay, and then eventually he grew. So the idea is to grow, to build a business. So he grew from trading. Now is what is a shop owner. He owns a big shop. He's opening stores left, right, and center because now he has migrated from being a trader to being a business owner. A business grows. So if you see Emac, the young man has done phenomenally well because he has grown his business from just trading from eBay, selling things online. Let's talk about sample to opening stores at East Park Mall in town, and I'm sure he's planning to open in other areas. So it's becoming quite a big shot. Why? He moved from trading. So trading can give you a good freedom if you are disciplined and if you choose to trade into something meaningful. You count very well. So we can also help you with that. So other than trading, right, there's something that I call, the LCF. All right, there's something I call the LCF. You can become the H of course the HCF. Right, you can become this. So sometimes when you are tired of trading, because trading is supposed to also exchange time, you go to Soweto, you order stuff, you come and trade. So sometimes if you're not there, there's no one to sell for you. That's where the problem comes in. So you want to shift the value from just being a trader to owning a shop, so that you can, even if you're not there, someone else can sell for you. But if you can't do that, you can as well make some money and then see for areas where you can become, of course, some agent of some type. So there's there's HCF. HCF is standing for, high cash flows, high income values, high income services. So how do you begin to trade into high income? All right, high income ventures. So now here it depends. All right, sometimes some people may be able to trade in high value materials. We know people that sell gold. All right, we know people that sell, maybe you begin to sell, let's say people that go to Dubai, they buy stuff, laptops, they buy different things, they come and sell. So you have to transition from just being some trader who goes to Soweto to buy Salaola and supply to your friends, buy jackets, iron them, which is a very good business, by the way. All right. You can also now begin to transition from being a TS, being a HCF. Now you begin to think of trading into what? Into high cash flow ventures, high value items. All right. What can you sell? Some people go to South Africa, they order cars, they come and sell. Some people go to be forward, they order cars, the cars come here in Zambia and then they sell them here. So you can begin to save up some money so that you can trade into high income assets. What you are trying to do here, remember, people, you are trying to buy yourself some freedom. Now, high income assets are different depending on what you are looking for, right? When someone tells something is expensive, don't be scared, because the word expensive will mean different things to different people. To some people, 1,000 is very expensive. To some people, 100,000 is nothing. So the word expensive depends on your income, muscle, your financial muscle. Right. So you may begin to trade into high value assets. Depending on where you are, you may want to step a step further. Now here, high value assets are not very much difficult to do here. For example, some people are agents. They have opened Facebook pages and they look for people that want to sell farms. They help you sell a farm for you. Right. That's something like that's like something like an agent. You're like some agent of some sort. You get commissions. That is also what you can do. So if you can't do high value assets, you can become something that we can simply say become an agent. All right. You can become an AS, an agent providing agency services, something that you can do. Right. You can go to Facebook, open a Facebook page. You know somebody wants to farm. You tell them, okay, you find the customer. If you have a Facebook platform, you find the customer, you post on your own platform, somebody buys, you get a commission. Right. Some people have been into different networking ventures where they get good commissions. So commissions are different. It's not all jobs that give you dongrestic commission. Some of the agents arrangement give you a very good commission. Very good commission. People get commissions in millions in some ventures. So it's about to find in which area do you think you're good. Look, if you are educated, for example, you are an accountant, you are a doctor, you are a pharmacist, you are a nurse, you are a teacher. What can you do to provide a service or to become an agent that supports what you already know? All right. So which area of expertise do you think you can be of great use where you can become an agent? Don't feel shy. All right. Don't feel shy. I know a lady from Tanzania who buys shoes for us. What we do, we send her money to Tanzania. This lady goes to shops in Tanzania. She takes pictures. She has a big Facebook page, a big WhatsApp group where we are all of us here in Zambia. Then she posts. So if you like the shoe or you like something, you send money to her. She buys for you at a fee. She makes over 1,000 on a daily basis because hundreds of people send their money, and then you pay her something not less than 250 kwacha per day for her to buy for you, right? So if she goes to buy stuff for you, she puts you on the bus, you pay her not less than 250. So if 100 people send her 250, it's a lot of money in a day on a daily basis. So you can become an agent. I also know a lady here in town. She goes to shops in Kamwala. She goes to different shops where they sell hair. So what does she do? She gets photos of that hair. She has a Facebook page with a very nice following. I just can't mention the page for now. She has a very huge following. So what she does, she sends photos of hair, and then people like the hair. So when you like the, what does she do? She buys, she delivers to you at a fee. at a commission. That's how she built her capital. Now she owns the salon. All right. Now she's now having air in stock because she has grown from simply being an agent, a runner. People just running, they send you the money, you buy for them, you deliver, they give you money. They don't know you have no money. People from Facebook don't know if you are broke. Do you know if I'm broke right? I could be 100% broke right now and you would not know because I'm wearing a jacket and a tie. So don't feel shy. All right. Nobody knows your financial mess on Facebook. So just you can be a runner, an agent of some type, so that you can have some freedom. This gives you a good freedom on your time. What you don't want to be stuck wasting time. If you are stuck at a job, you are stuck at a physical service, you are stuck at a income material that takes time to sell, you are stuck as an agent, it will be difficult to invest into these things because what you want to do all these things, you are establishing a constant cash flow. Now, there are times where you say, okay, fine, I can't. It's difficult for me to be an agent. It's difficult for me to order anything of high value. It's difficult for me to do a physical service. Look at your qualification. What are you good at? You can be something I like. This is what I am. Okay. You can be a COV. All right. A
Mm.
COV is somebody who produce their own value. Like me. I am a COV. Okay. I create my own courses. All right. I know another lady who is a COV. She writes books, she creates her own courses. So I create my own courses, and people come to learn. They come to buy knowledge. All right. I am a qualified chartered accountant. I'm also a certified financial analyst. I'm doing a few courses. I've done a few courses. Right. So what do I do? I say, okay, fine, let me use the knowledge I've gained to create courses to help couples. I do family finance. I help married people that are in serious relationship, people that are starting dating to know how to invest together, how to register a business, how to run a successful business, how to build a business from the scratch to the very end. I do that. So I have courses for family. I have courses for children. I have courses for single guys, for single ladies. I hold workshops. I'm a COV. So being a COV may give you a good measure of freedom, depending on what you are providing as a COV. All right, because you are providing your own value as a COV. So now notice the most important thing in all this, the reason why you are doing all these things, you are trying to buy one thing. You are trying to buy time. If you have time, then you can invest properly. It is difficult to
Mhm.
invest in high value items when you don't have time. You're just a COV like myself, for example. When you see me speaking at a workshop, they don't pay me for hiding behind the cameras. No, I go to a workshop physically and I speak, and then they pay me. So I've exchanged my time for the money. All right. Now imagine being a COV is the only thing I do. It will be difficult for me to grow because if nobody calls me, then there's no money. This is why we are saying I'm supposed to have a channel of small things, not really big investments, small things that are giving me an honest income. Maybe I have a job. If I don't have a job, I'm selling something. If I'm not selling something, maybe I'm being a TS, I'm trading. If I'm not trading, maybe I'm being an agent. If I'm not an agent, I'm being a COV. So that whenever there's no business for being a COV, when we had COVID-19, it was difficult to speak at workshop. We're doing it online, but it was more reduced. All right. So it was difficult to go and give a talk at an event, to go and speak at a workshop. It was very difficult. But now that COVID has stabilized, we are now able to be hired again. So you can create your own value. Most of you know how to cook. You can begin to to do things about cooking. You can write a book about cooking. You can write a book about different things. And there are people who succeed writing books. It's a very good business. I'm also writing books, right? It's a very, very good business. So you can either write a book, all right? You can use your social, you can create a Facebook page, and what do? You can go and copy things from Webantu or from Smart Eagles or from Zambia Reports. Whenever they post, you copy, you post on your page. People begin to like, before you don't, you're going to have an audience, and people begin to pay to advertise on your page. You have to be patient, all right? There's no shortcut to a better life, to a better financial life. Actually, discipline is one of the most fundamental elements of a good investor. A good investor learns. A good investor makes sure he buys time before he can buy an investment. Because if you don't have time, you will neglect your investment. So now, once you establish all these things down here, all right, you maybe you have a job, or maybe you're providing a physical service. You're trading in, you are working into high cash flow assets. You are an agent or a COV, or maybe you're simply a trader. So once you develop a stable stream of cash flows, people, You have money coming in from your job. No matter how small your side is, respect it because it makes a difference in your life. And it makes a difference in the lives of so many people that you may not even know about. Because when you get paid, someone else gets paid. When you get paid, your family gets paid. When you get paid, a lot of people in this world get paid. So no matter how small your job is paying you, it is always a good thing to respect your job. So guys, please share this information. Please share the video. Please share the video. So now, at what point do you begin to invest in these things? Like I said earlier, all right? When you are a COV, all right, you are creating your own
Mm,
course. All right. So you're making value for yourself. What we are trying to do here now, you begin to think about how do I expand? For example, I am a lecturer. I'm no longer alone. What I've done, I have employed a few people to help me provide some lessons. So when somebody comes now, I don't have to be the one doing everything alone. I am trying to buy time. The reason why you are investing into these small things so that you can begin to build your cash flows. This side of 100 kwacha, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 50 kwacha is because you want to have time. When you have time, it becomes easier for you to invest properly and to grow. So now, once you have a stable income, all right, you want to have time and stable income because stable income and time are going to give you freedom. So now, what do you do when you reach this stage? Once you have stable cash flows, all right. Remember, the key is to have a stable cash flow. Stable cash flow does not come from one source of income. So you have a stable
mm,
cash flow. So once your cash flow is stable, that's the only part now that you're going to okay, fine. Now that my cash flow is stable, now let me begin to invest into these things. So now what do you do? So now once you have a stable cash flow, so because you want to have something stable, all right, that's the end game. Ukafuma 50 kwacha, this, you have to be industrious. Now, once you have a stable stream of income, that's the point to begin to think about. Okay, for now that I have established a business, maybe I'm still trading, I'm providing high value assets, I'm also an agent, I'm creating my own value, I'm a COV, I'm writing books. Anybody can write books, people. You don't have to be educated to write a book. Then you can say, okay, for
mm,
now this money is coming, the profits coming. It is the profits that you now begin to get, all right, and begin to invest into real estate. You begin to invest into stocks. You begin to invest into unit trusts. You begin to invest into government bonds. Why is it important that you invest the profits into these things? Because if you are excited, you just get a 1,000 or a 10,000 and then you run because you have a friend who told you they put money in bonds, in stocks, and they spoke so well. You are taking yourself 17 steps backwards. And this is true, people. And I speak this with all strength. A block person who invests in bonds, stocks, and unit trusts probably is going to be more broke than they were. We are no longer living in the times of Warren Buffett. People will tell about Warren Buffett, how he invested. There were no people back then. And the investments on stocks were very good back then. Now the world has changed. The interest on bonds, on real estates, on stocks, and unit trusts is very, very low. So you want to make sure you are sober before you can put your money into these things. I'm not saying they are bad. There's a level of income that gives you a good return because now once you begin to get your free cash flows, the money that now are coming from these things we've established, now you begin to post them into bonds, real estate, stocks. Do you know why? You don't expect this money anytime soon. This is the money that we are going now to call, you are putting here passive income because passive income makes you passive return. So now you're going to be having more passive money coming from these things because this is the money you don't expect tomorrow. You're putting money you don't need for rentals. You're putting money you don't need for school fees. You're putting money you don't need to feed your family. If your salary is small, your business pays you less, all right? And then you get your small amount of money, you put in bonds, you are taking yourself 17 steps backwards. You are not growing. Begin to put money into these things, that money which you don't really need to survive today, to avoid being disappointed. So when this money makes interest, they make coupons. Now, what do? You say, what? I'm not going to get back this interest. What I want to do, I want to reinvest. Do you know why you are reinvesting? Because you are not in a hurry for food, for rentals, for anything. You have the money already from these things we've established here, from a job. It could be a physical service. It could be you're a trader. It could be an agent. It could be somebody who creates your own value. There are people who simply go to TikTok, they twerk a bit, they make money. You dance, you sing, whatever it is that you do that is legitimate. You do it to make genuine cash flows, because you don't want to dance your waist, to twerk your waist your entire life. At some point, you're going to be tired. When that time comes, when you're no longer beautiful, when that time comes, when you're no longer handsome, when that time comes, when you're no longer muscular, when that time comes, when people are no longer excited to look at you because now you're not as beautiful, as handsome, or as muscular as you were, what will take care of you? When that time comes, when you no longer will be interested in seeing how you twerk, what is going to take care of you? When that time comes, when you no longer have the strength to stand and run and beat everybody in Africa, what will take care of you? When that time comes, when you will no longer be able to drive, you no longer be able to sing, you no longer be able to dance, you no longer be able to go to YouTube and make a video half naked. When that time comes, what will take care of you? What is going to provide for you? Right? So when you are creating all these things, mwafumia pwensoni, you begin to create these things. If you have a job, you respect it, so that you use your job to start a trading business, or maybe a fiscal service, or whatever it is that you have. So you have all these streams of incomes. For one thing, you want time. Time for what? Time to spend with yourself, time to spend with your loved ones, time to enjoy what you love in life. All right. So you've bought yourself time, all right, to have all this freedom to go for vacation. All right? So time can give you a lot of happiness. You can enjoy with your loved ones. You can spend time with loved ones because you have now what? You have time. You now have time to go for vacations, all right? Because you have time. If you're a trader, it is difficult to go on vacation because you work for yourself. If you leave, the business dies. All right. So you have to now remove the value out of you and put it into these businesses. So these businesses can operate without you having to be there. And then you begin to get the cash flows from these businesses. And then you begin to divert them into bonds, into real estates, into unit trusts. That's how you invest soberly. You can't come with a 5,000 kwacha salary today, and then you get all of it, you put in bonds. That's a mentality of poverty. Bonds and the stocks and the real estate unit trusts are not a quick scheme to get, are not a get rich quick scheme. No, these are just there to get you started. Of course, there's a level at which you make so much money in bonds. For example, somebody who puts 30 million in bonds is going to enjoy himself a lot. Somebody who puts 2 million in bonds is going to enjoy himself. Do you know why? Because the higher the money you put, the better the return. Because there are different categories for bonds, for starters, for intermediate investors, and for advanced investors. There are all those different categories. So it is not for you if you are still struggling. You're supposed to be humble and accept your current situation. Say, you know what? I want to be able to invest in bonds one day. But today is not just the time for me. Just because it's not the time for you does not mean it's not a good investment. It's not time for you because you have nothing to survive on. When you put your 5,000 kwacha, next year it is going to give you a very tiny interest, extremely tiny. You are going to be shocked how tiny the interest you're going to get by next year. It will shock you. But if you get that 5,000 kwacha, you go to Soweto, you go and buy jackets like this one. Very early at 05 hours, you go when they're opening bells, you buy, you come and sell. Before, in a short period of time, you're going to make maybe 3 times that 5,000 kwacha. All right. Then you can begin to think about, now, how do I begin to channel some of my proceeds into these things so that I can buy time for myself. When that time comes, I'm going to have something that is going to help me survive. That's how you're supposed to be able to think if you are serious about attaining your financial freedom. So financial freedom is not a one-day thing. All right. Financial freedom does not happen overnight. It takes time for you to be able to become financially free. Even if you put money in bonds today, I know other people who put money in bonds and they are still very broke and poor. They receive 300 kwacha coupons because coupons interest are paid twice in a year. All right. So if you put a 10,000 kwacha, you multiply that one by the interest that you're going to get, and you divide it by 2 because it's going to be shared twice. Some people receive 200 kwacha, 300 kwacha, 500 kwacha, and then you put this money 6 months ago, and then you come and receive 500 kwacha. You've taken yourself 17 steps backwards, and these are the facts people don't want to hear, right? Bonds, stocks, real estates, unit trusts are not for everyone. So now here's the issue. So at what point do you begin to invest in bonds? When you have enough money. Now you can go into real estate. Now real estate don't have to be the one to build the house. You don't have to be the one to go and buy land. There are real estate investment trusts where you can be putting as low as 2,500 kwacha on a monthly basis, and then they're investing for you. For stocks, you can be investing as low as 500 kwacha. You are buying shares slowly. For trust, you can be putting as low as, depending on how much, what is the policy you've agreed on, you can put in as low as 1,000, 2,000, stuff like that on the month. Why are you getting this money? This is not the money you need tomorrow. This is the money you don't need tomorrow immediately. No, it's the money you're going to need, for example, over a long period of time. You're not in a hurry for this money, all right? Because you have a cash flow that you've established, all right? That's how we are supposed to think. This is what you must be able to do before you go and invest into government bonds. So now, guys, we have run out of time. Unfortunately, I wish I could go on and finish up my presentation, all right? But like I said, there are certain jobs that pay you very well. It's not every job that pays you less. Some jobs are high paying, extremely fantastic, very amazing jobs. All right. And there are some physical services that I know a guy who puts towels in the homes. If he goes over the weekend to put towels, he comes back on a Sunday with over 10,000 kwacha. All right. So some physical services that you offer pay you well. They can buy you freedom very quickly. All right. So what you're looking for here, remember, guys, everything you are doing, you're looking for freedom. Freedom does not just mean money. Freedom means time. He who has time can make money. He who has time can make money. If you have no time, it is difficult to make money because your boss is always calling you or your business is always calling you. You have to be there. So ask yourself, if you went on an unpaid leave for only 1 month, can your lifestyle still be the same? If you got sick for only 1 month, can your lifestyle still be the same? If you got sick for only 1 month, can your business still run and make money? Can you leave your business for just 1 month without attending to it and it survive? That means you need to up your game. So guys, if there's any questions, any contributions, I'll be happy for you to bring them on. I wish we could go on and on, but we were unable to do that because we have run out of time. All right. But tell me, give me your views. What do you think? Do you have questions for us? And I want to hear from you, Stephanie. What do you think about what we're discussing here? I think we should do a part two, Stephanie. What do you think? We've not yet exhausted the entire information because we've run out of time. I want to hear from you, Stefan. What do you think as we begin to look at a few comments? So the comment from Wix Mudwao says, can one use a vehicle which he has as high returns, such as peer-to-peer platforms, to invest direct in bonds, stocks, and real estate and unit trusts? I've not really understood the question. Can one use a vehicle which he has as high return? Okay, I'm not understanding the question. I'm sorry, I'm not understanding the question. But I'm assuming you're talking about a vehicle is not a high value income. A vehicle is a liability. Just as some liabilities are better liabilities than others. If you buy a vehicle because you want to be doing Yango, that's a different story. If you want to be using it for tax, a different story. Okay, because it's giving you an income. If you buy a vehicle because you want to be using it for business, it's giving an income. But if you buy a vehicle because you want to look to your friends that you are happy and you are rich, that's a whole different kind of liability. All right, so it's different. Okay, so it says, kind of explain further on the category of bond investors. Sure. So here's the issue. So bond investors have got different categories. Okay, and I think it's a story we can do for another because I have only 2 minutes left for my presentation. I can't explain more, but I just want to say this: a bond is a risk-free venture, a government bond. You don't bear any risk. That is why the return is extremely very slow, very low. So there are different competitive categories. And I think we need to do a session where we can explain the different categories and how to choose a better category for you, looking at your financial muscle. I think we need to do that here. But thank you for the question. I'm so sorry I'm unable to explain in full because we are running out of time. It's good to see you, Azelina. Thank you so very much. It's good to see you. So, guys, uh, I have a minute before we can go. Is there anybody who wants to tell me how you found this information? Tell me if you've shared the information with somebody else. That would be quite amazing. So, in a minute, people tell me how have you found this information? Was it helpful to you? If it was, let me know in the comments. If you have a question for me, I'll be happy to respond to it. But remember, guys, what we are saying here, we're not saying bonds, stocks, and real estates are bad investments. No, they are not bad. We're just saying you have to be humble enough to accept your financial muscle at a time. All right, because the interest rates vary also depending on how much money you're willing to invest in stocks, in bonds, and this. And if you're talking about stocks, stocks are very risky. It's like gambling, right? Sometimes you invest in a company, you choose the wrong company, and then that company goes into liquidation. You lose out big time. All right. So of all these things here, the safest one is the bond. All right. The government bond is the safest one. All right. So it's always refreshing to revisit personal finance and investing foundations. Fantastic, fantastic, Kanganja Chirwa. We are really grateful for your participation. We are very, very grateful for that, and we hope to come back in our second episode to talk more about the different categories and the amounts that you'll be able to invest in bonds. So, guys, it's been a wonderful morning. Thank you so very much for joining me and Stephanie. We've come to the end of the program. Please do catch us next week, Tuesday, at the same time. May God bless you. May God fulfill you. And we look forward to seeing you next week, Tuesday. Please, thank you, Kennedy. Please share the video with those you care about. From me and Stephanie. Stephanie, I'm not sure if you have any last words. I
I
wanted
am
to.
definitely. Now, I do see that on the other side, we do have people trying to call through. I should see that maybe it has to do with network. Well, time does not seem to be our best ally. Probably will continue to get those comments even on the other side. For now, it's bye.
Bye bye, people. Thank you. Thank you so very much.